Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
All righty, day 2 of mandatory Jaguars minicamp is in the books, and nothing bad happened. That's kind of what you, how you evaluate minicamp days. You just don't want anything bad happening. You want to get install. You want to get familiarity. Some new guys running around, throwing and passing and catching with some new guys. But no injuries to report. I'll piggyback as I welcome you to a Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show here from studio. I'll piggyback a little bit. I want to give reporters that are out there their due. John Shipley, who has covered the Jaguars for several years. I'm kind of piggybacking one of his reports from day 2. I want to give him credit as we look at day 2 of 3-day mandatory minicamp. A lot to do today on the program. NBA Finals tonight. I think tonight is kind of the swing game. I don't think I would say it was a swing game if the underdog had not already won a game. But with Indiana winning a game in OKC, I think tonight is the swing game in the basketball series. We'll talk some NBA Finals. That game comes up tonight, 8:30 in Indiana. We'll also piggyback a little bit on that topic. Coming up around 5:30, we're scheduled to visit with Providence basketball coach Jim Martin. Obviously, he is running the Jacksonville Basketball Academy camps all summer long, so we'll do a little double dip with Coach Martin, some college basketball news and notes we want to ask him about, and also get his thoughts on the NBA Finals Game 3 tonight. Okay, other things we'll do today. That's about 5:30. Of course, today, Wednesday, 5 o'clock, we'll talk to Dr. Aaron Bates. A lot of stuff to get into. We'll throw Dr. Bates the Trevor Lawrence had a sleeve on. Oh, my God. The world is coming to an end. We'll talk to Dr. Bates about that a little bit. The Caitlin Clark, she's got the quad injury. Anthony Richardson, he just cannot get past the AC joint situation in his shoulder. We'll talk to Dr. Bates about that. And also yet another Tommy John UCL injury. It's not so much the player that had the most recent one. I want to talk to Dr. Bates. That's in his wheelhouse. He has performed 1 million Tommy John surgeries for athletes. I've got some questions that I think you'll be interested in talking to Dr. Bates, our Southeast orthopedic specialist. Sports medicine discussion with Dr. Bates comes up around 5 o'clock. Brent Beaird scheduled around 5:40. We'll have a short segment with Brent, but we'll kick around different things that happen. I welcome Casey Kurtz, producing. Mr. Kurtz, it's only about 120, down to about 120 outside today.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, my. Oh, my. The asphalt and the heat, and we're in it now, right? We're pretty much in it till...
Yep.
Mid to late September, maybe it starts breaking a little bit. Did you, as you made your way to the studio, did you see or even feel like we've got a chance at any rain this afternoon?
I mean, I came in here at 9 a.m.
9? Okay.
No.
So no. 9 a.m.? What the hell were you doing at 9 a.m.?
I hosted Brent's show. Brent's out. I've
Okay.
been hosting Brent's show all week.
Okay, Brent's out. Speaking of different shows and different things going on, we got a lot of baseball going on right now. Midday baseball. Braves are trying to hold on and get a win. Braves lead Milwaukee 6-1, bottom of the 8th inning. Toronto 5-2 lead over the Cardinals. That's in the bottom of the 6th inning. Early, Seattle leads Arizona 1-0. We've got some finals, though. Pittsburgh won today. The Pirates beat, I guess, can we say Pittsburgh won? They beat the Marlins.
Yeah, it counts.
Okay, it counts. 5-2. Nice win for Philly, and they win the series. Final, Philadelphia 7, Chicago, the Cubs 2, and Philadelphia, obviously, we talked to our baseball guy yesterday, Cade Kistner. Boy, Philadelphia has been scuffling. So they took 2 of 3 from the Cubs. Good deal for Philly, right? 2 of 3.
Yeah, it's good.
Over a division leader.
Yeah, Cubs are good.
Yeah, Cubs are good.
Phillies are good. There's a lot of good teams in the NL.
Yeah, Phillies take the game and the series with a 7-2 win today. Cleveland got by Cincinnati. That's a final, 11-2 Cleveland. And then a lot of baseball, not a lot, but some baseball tonight, including the big series, L.A., the Dodgers at San Diego. And, boy, San Diego roughed them up, Casey. Roughed them up like 11-1 the other night.
Yeah, it's a good one. Good series.
That is a good series. And then some good stuff coming up. We'll talk some baseball as we go. Speaking of baseball, a couple days away from the College World Series getting underway. We'll talk to Brent Beaird about that. Got some news and notes, including, I got to get this out. I should hold it, but I got to get this out. I didn't realize this until I read it, Casey. This year's College World Series, 8 teams will meet starting on Friday in Omaha. How about this, Casey? The 8 teams that have made it to Omaha this year, none of them made it last year. It's 8 brand new teams. Did you know that? I didn't know that until I read it this morning.
No, I didn't realize that.
8 new teams. Nobody carried over, including the defending champions, Tennessee.
Right.
They were knocked out. Obviously, Texas A&M made it deep. Obviously, last year, Florida made it deep. Mm-hmm. Florida State made it deep. That was your Final Four, basically. Nobody carried over. All 8. That's good for college baseball, right? That's pretty good for college baseball, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good
Parity.
For recruiting.
Yeah.
And that type of thing. Like, I'm not sure how much the casual fan would care.
Yeah.
But I think for the athletes to be able to go, well, I could go to Murray State, Coastal Carolina, any of the Oregon State, and still potentially make, like, I don't have to go to an SEC school to make it to the College World Series in baseball. You can go anywhere. So
yeah, definitely. But I thought it was really interesting. I didn't know that until I read it this morning. Nobody in this year's 8-team College World Series final group was a carryover. Nobody carried over from last year. Not LSU. They didn't get they're there. They're there now, but Arkansas didn't get it. Tennessee didn't make it back. Florida, obviously. Florida State, like we said. Good for college baseball. I reserve the right, Casey, to go back to this topic a couple of times today because I'm kind of I can't say the word I want to say.
Okay.
I'm kind of blank for the AUSL.
Giddy?
Yeah, we can say giddy. And I'm giddy for women's fast-pitch softball. I think it's a great sport. Last night, and it's called by the way, we've got to change the name.
I think you're too late.
The one thing I hate about the women's league that Major League Baseball has bought into, has invested in, the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Mm-hmm. Is that not the worst name of a league ever in sports?
It's not the best.
We got to change that, man.
I mean, if you're telling me they played games last night, I think you're probably too late on changing the name.
Yeah, played last night was a little bit of a. Well, let me back up. This year's season got started over the weekend. So they played out in Rosemont, Illinois, and one other location. By the way, all games have sold out. Now, you're talking 1,500 to 2,000.
Sure.
But sold out.
Yeah, good.
All games. And so we've played 4 or 5 games. There are 4 teams in the league this year. They'll play 24 games over 2 months. Mm-hmm. But, Casey, a couple of things were really well thought out, I think. Number one, 2-month season right after the Women's College World Series.
Yeah, they didn't play around.
Immediately after. I think the women's ended on Friday and they started on Saturday. You can't play in the league unless you've exhausted all of your NCAA eligibility. But with that said, one of the star players from the College World Series, women's softball, Sam Landry, already in the league.
Nice.
She's done. She's already in the league, got signed.
That's crazy.
But last night was kind of a special night for this league. Last night was the first ESPN, it was ESPN2, but national broadcast. So last night was the first national broadcast. I watched the first 2 or 3 innings. I was flipping between Yankees-Royals and this game, and it was the Talons versus somebody. There's 4 teams in it. But, Casey, a couple things, and being serious here for a minute. The presentation was wonderful. You could tell MLB was behind it.
Okay.
They fired up, and they had great pre-pro, the pre-production. Mm-hmm. It looked like it's supposed to look. It looked professional, the presentation. The 2 announcers, Amanda Scarborough, you know that name if you follow any softball. was a great player, maybe at Alabama. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly where, but Amanda Scarborough has been one of the big-time ESPN college broadcasters. She was on it with I can't remember the guy, but nothing looked hokey, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Casey.
Yeah.
And a lot of startup professional leagues, be it football, basketball, softball, a lot of them look hokey. Mm-hmm. Number one, the presentation, you could tell MLB had their tentacles in this thing. And the production was good. The game broadcast was good. The talent on the field was good. I mean, we had home runs, we had strikeouts, we had great catches, we had 5-4-3 double plays.
Nice.
It was a good night. And not that I'm the end-all be-all. I like women's fast pitch softball. Sure. I've gotten into it with the last 15 years with all the new networks. There were a bunch of girls, there are a bunch of female softball players that I know. And I'm not deep into this thing. Former Gator shortstop Skylar Wallace, Bubba Nichols, I remember her from UCLA, great player. Odyssey Alexander.
It's a good name.
Yes, and you remember that name because 3 years ago, James Madison in softball was Murray State. And Odyssey Alexander, she was a great pitcher. She's in the league. Corby Otis, former Gator from this past season. She's done it with her eligibility. She's in it. Alicia Ocasio was a two-way player for Florida. Alabama had a star pitcher. I remember Alabama's a good softball program. Montana Fouts.
Oh, yeah, I remember her.
You remember her. Big, tall, great pitcher. Michelle Edenfield from FSU is in the league. I remember her. FSU won a title not long ago. FSU's good in women's softball. Sierra Romero, Michigan star. Jessie Warren, another FSU star from the year they won it. Amanda Lorenz, great Gator softball player from 3 years ago. She's in the league. Rachel Garcia, a great pitcher from UCLA. I think the last time UCLA won their last title, she was the star. There are recognizable players in this. I think this league, I'm bullish on this league, man. I'm way more bullish than probably anybody in the world, but I'm bullish. I think this thing, Casey, the main thing is the college age and right into professional age women's fast pitch softball player. That 19, 20, 22, 23-year-old, okay? Mm-hmm. Those softball players are more skilled at their game than the basketball players that go on to the W. I'm telling you, they're more skilled, and it's an easier watch softball than WNBA basketball. I'm just telling you. If you don't believe me,
I believe you.
Go watch both of them.
I believe you.
Last night, what's her name? Angel Reese was on.
Okay.
Opposite softball. And Angel Reese actually scored some points. But I would flip back and forth. Did a little experiment. I was experimenting last night. I had Major League Baseball.
Okay.
I had AUSL. What a bad name.
Stuck with it.
And then I had WNBA. I went back and forth. And when I would go to the WNBA, those girls are not as accomplished at their sport as softball. It was apparent. I mean, you'll get a hard hit ground ball to a third baseman. They'll go 5-4-3. It's beautiful. They make the plays. They don't look clunky. They don't look like a 12-year-old boy could play better than the NBA guys. WNBA guys, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I hope some people watched it last night. Also, Casey, the fact that this league got started on the heels, the women's college softball World Series had their biggest numbers ever. The championship game had 2.4 million viewers.
I saw that.
2.4 million.
It's a good number.
On a weeknight.
True.
In a sport that is just getting started, really. Yeah. Just getting started.
It's a good point. I didn't think about the weekday part of it.
Yeah, weekday. Terrible name. They need to change the name.
Stuck with it.
Great timing, though. But you can really, really tell that a big boy is behind this. The Major League Baseball has got a stake in this thing now, and that means they've got money. And I'll tell you another thing. And the announcers last night were talking about this league is like 7 or 8 years old. It's just floundered. and it's gone under and came back like all these pro leagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they've got money.
That's the difference.
Now they've got funding.
That's the key.
So the ladies describing the action, the play-by-play was a guy, and the lady, Amanda Scarborough, they were describing the history of the league. And it's 7 or 8 years old. And they were talking about how they used to have, and I don't want, it's not a political statement, but trumped up scoring. You know what that phrase, trumped up? Mm-hmm. They used to have non-traditional scoring. If you did this with less than 2 outs, you got an extra run, you know. And you saw that like with UFL and USF, those different football leagues had these funny trumped up scoring. No, this is just straight softball.
Which is what it should be.
Which is what it should be. Because when you have all these trumped up rules and scoring addendums, it brings the word I used earlier, hokey. It gives it a hokiness, a hokey feel. This is just good quality fast pitch softball. And I meant to look it up, and it just hit me, and I didn't do it. I'm telling you, the game last night was like 4-0.
Okay.
I could have swore it came on at 8. And it was off at 9:45.
Let me see if I can find it.
I think it was about it was 8 to, I think the game went about an hour and 45 minutes. And that is actually quick. But these games go fast. They get in a 2 hour and 15-minute window. I don't know if you could find that, but if you can, I think that it was less than 2 hours. And it was a legit game. I mean, they played. One team, I think, shut the other one out last night. There were a couple of home runs, couple of great defensive plays, great pitching, and in and out. In and out. And it may be hard to find.
Yeah, it's probably going to be.
Yeah, that kind of.
But I'm going to try.
The duration, what was the time? How long did last night's game?
Well, I mean, usually for baseball, they put the time in the box score.
Agreed.
But.
Agreed. And I can try that as well. As a matter of fact, let's you want to get crazy? Do you want to get crazy on a Hump Day edition?
What do you want to do?
Why not? How about this? How about ChatGPT? How about just and this is my Siri, by the way. I never had Siri.
Okay.
You gotta have what? You gotta have an iPhone to have Siri. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. Siri and I've never been on one date with Siri.
Never met.
No, never met her.
Interesting.
I've been around people that dated her. Okay, so let's see. Oh darn, I'm having a little trouble getting my internet because of all the interference here. You notice that?
Yeah, this is the worst building in the history of the world for.
Yeah, and we got a lot of stuff going on though. You know.
I mean,
a lot of interference. I think I'm trying to bail out CBS 47 Fox 30.
No, it's the worst building in the history of time for connection. If you're not on the Wi-Fi, you have no chance. I'll say it.
Okay, here we go. What was the game time of last night's AUSL softball game?
Are you talking into ChatGPT right now?
Yeah, can I do that?
I mean, you can. It's the oldest thing I've ever seen anybody ever do.
How would you do it, though, other than that?
I type it in.
No. See how quick that was? It appears it wasn't live. The game last night in the evening. Here's the schedule. Yeah, there actually was a game. Talons. Today is what? Yeah, last night was Talons versus Bandits.
It was, correct.
Yeah, they screwed this up.
I'm not shocked by this.
I'm going to tell this person on chat.
I hate to tell you, but...
No, actually, there was a game last night between the Talons and...
Bandits.
The Bandits. Can you check the game time, total game time? No, I wouldn't. You'd want to type that in?
Yeah.
Why? Take me an hour.
Yeah, it wouldn't take me an hour.
Okay, thoughts for... Okay, last night's they featured Talons at 8 o'clock. Yes.
There you go.
Yes, comma. How long did it take that game to complete? What was the game time?
Comma is crazy.
It puts it in there, though.
I mean, yeah, but...
I'm grammatically correct.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing.
Okay, game between last night.
I don't think it's happening for you.
5 innings, 100 minutes. Game time, 5 innings extended. It was a 5-inning game. It got run ruled. Hour and a half. Approximately 1.5 hours. And I was done. I was on to looking to see if Judge was going to hit one 500. Did you see Judge's home run last night?
I did not.
I think he flattened the baseball.
Really?
It's gotten to the point where he went into last night's game with and we're 65 games in. He went in with a .396 batting average.
Yeah, he's good.
23 home runs, a million RBI. Kansas City had a rookie left-hander, and he's had a good start to the season. Cameron, I think his last name.
Noah Cameron.
Noah Cameron had a good start. First at bat for Judge, I think he flattened the baseball, 469.
That's crazy.
And he hit it a mile. It was a neat scene last night because the Yankees were in town. It was the first game of this series. It was in Kansas City, and it was Caglianone's first game in front of the home folk. His first 6 games were on the road.
Royals got dog walked, though.
They got walked 10-2, 2-run homer early, and then Wells, the catcher, hit a 3-run dog, and that was the game.
Yep.
Caglianone, though, was kind of the story. The place was packed, and he came up to bat. He was facing Fried, by the way, a tough lefty. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the year he's having?
He's really good.
My God.
Brady screwed that one up.
9-1. Yeah, they did.
They couldn't have done anything, but.
Yeah, he was getting out of there, right? He was getting out of there.
Yeah, I mean, it was,
He's 9-1, 1.58 ERA, I think it is.
Yeah, he's insane.
So Caglianone comes up, and runner on first and third, 1 out when he came up his first time. He's batting like 6th, and he was in right field. Got sawed off, hit a nubber that barely would go from me to you, but the run scored, so he got an RBI.
How about that?
Couple other tough at-bats against Fried. But, no, I take it back. He came back up and hit an absolute rocket into the shortstop hole where the third baseman was playing because they moved everybody over, hit a rocket. So he was 0 for 3. His last at bat on a backup pitcher because it was 10-2. Mm-hmm. They pulled Fried. Cags got a single. So he is 5 for his last 8, I guess. Hitting about 240, 250 because he started 2 for 21.
Right.
But his first at bat, absolute massive standing ovation. Just walking up to the box.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
They don't have much, though. They made the playoffs last year.
They don't have much that's playing well. They have talent. They're just not playing well.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Because last night I was like, man.
That's a good team.
Bobby Witt's Bobby Witt.
Mm-hmm. Pascatino last year drove in 100 runs, and he just hasn't been that good this year.
Yeah, and he's the big guy that they would love to leave him at first base.
Correct.
And last night they had, who's the guy? He's a veteran, Salvador Perez?
Yeah, Salvi Perez, yeah.
And his best days are behind him, right?
Certainly. I mean, he's 30.
Yeah. And if they
35.
if they could have a guy there, because what they did last night, searching for hits and power and offense, they had Cags in right, the P guy, I can't ever pronounce his name.
Pascatino.
Yeah,
Vinny.
at first, right?
Yep.
And then Salvador DH, trying to get as many bats as they can. But, and again, they looked bad last night, but Fried was Fried. He was on.
Terrible last night.
Man, he's nasty.
He is good. I mean, yeah, listen, they're not the greatest team to ever play, but they are talented. They just haven't been well this year. Their pitching's been hurt a lot. No cameras has been good for them. So I still think they're a solid team. I'm not sure what that means
Royals?
in the grand scheme of things. Yeah.
Playoff team last year.
I think they're a playoff team this year. They just got to figure it out. Maybe make a move or two. I do want to draw your attention to this.
Okay.
The Braves just won.
Okay.
But most importantly, the part that I find funny is Spencer Schwellenbach.
Yeah.
8 innings, 90-something pitches. Braves are up 4. They're like, we're not playing this game. We're sending him back out there. Ends up throwing 108 pitches, gets the complete game.
Good Lord.
They're like, we're not blowing another game.
Bullpen.
Nope, we ain't doing the bullpen.
They said BS bullpen.
That's funny. Good for I'm happy because he's on my fantasy team, so I just got complete game points. But complete game for Spencer Schwellenbach. They beat the Brewers 6-2.
And then what's the Smith Sharver is done for the year.
Yeah, blew his arm.
Yeah, blew his arm out. Oh, that's who we're going to talk about a little bit about the Tommy John with Dr. Bates. But I tell you, yesterday we had Cade Kistner in, and gosh darn, looking around at some different teams. Have you seen the wacky team that the Texas Rangers have put together?
Yeah.
They can really pitch it.
They should be able to hit it too, but they can't.
They're yesterday, as a team, they are third in all of baseball, not the AL, ERA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've got 3 starters that are
great,
no higher than 2.4 something. So they're third in all of baseball, team ERA. They're 29th in batting average.
Wild.
How do you waste all that pitching?
Well, I mean, it's not for lack of trying. They pay Corey Seager a ton of money. Josh Jung has not been that guy. Marcus Simeon's been terrible. I'm sure this is not what they expected.
Langford is there, the former Gator.
Has not been great.
He leads them with 11 home runs. He's batting about 230.
Yep.
11 home runs is not a huge number. Speaking of home runs, I don't know if you heard Cade and I talking yesterday. Surprised me a little bit knowing we were having a lot of baseball talk. I was kind of snooping around yesterday morning. And certainly when you think home runs in Major League Baseball the last couple of years, you think Aaron Judge.
Sure.
You think Ohtani.
I do.
You know who leads Major League Baseball in home runs right now?
I remember you saying this, but I don't remember what the answer was.
Cal Raleigh.
Oh, yeah.
At Seattle, former FSU catcher.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, he came through FSU, big, tall guy, a star in the making. I mean, a huge recruit. I think he was a guy that Florida State was surprised he made it on campus.
Probably.
And but Cal Raleigh with 26 now. Judge hit 24 last night. But Cal Raleigh, I just thought that was awesome. And you know who's fourth? And this guy has raked his whole career.
What you got?
Schwarber.
Oh, yeah.
Schwarber. There, as of going into yesterday, there were only 4 guys with 20 or more, and Schwarber was the fourth.
Yep, 21 home runs.
Man, I tell you, though, man, I saw it yesterday morning and then last night watching the Yankees some back and forth. God dang, the year Judge is putting together.
That's incredible.
Those numbers are ridiculous.
396, 24, and 58.
Whoever was doing the game, Fran Core was the analyst last night on the game. I was watching on, I guess,
TBS,
yes. I don't remember the play-by-play guys, a relatively newer guy to me. But Fran Core made the point. He goes, it's to the point where he almost, it's very left-handed pitchers throwing to the right-handed Judge. It's almost like Barry Bonds' time. You may as well just send him to first base. I mean, that ball's coming in on Judge.
Yeah.
He gets a good look at it. And, I was thinking last night as well, this is a duh moment, but the really great hitters in baseball history, current, past, dead, alive,
sure,
the really good ones, and Judge is that, they've got great vision. They know the strike zone, man.
Right.
They sit there and go, all right, either you've got an umpire with a bad strike zone today, or hold your breath because you better throw it right here.
Yeah.
I mean, Judge has got Barry Bonds had a great eye. You never saw Bonds swinging above his chest.
Yeah.
Or a dirt ball.
He knew the strike zone.
Yeah. And you watch Judge. He gets in there, that big son of a gun. He crouches a little bit, and he says, here's my strike zone, my man.
It's incredible. I mean, and really, it's been the last few years, but, this guy was not a top prospect.
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere and started mashing the baseball.
I'm glad you brought that up. Last night, and I didn't do it, I forgot to, and it just hit me right now. Was Judge with another team before?
No.
Okay, he's full Yankee, but he wasn't a bonus baby. He wasn't right?
No, he was not their number one prospect at any point in time.
Good.
We talk about this a lot. People to get autographs and whatnot.
Yeah.
You would go to games and they had 4 or 5. They're I'm talking Tampa Yankees low A. They had 3 or 4 more highly rated prospects than Judge at the time he was on the Tampa Yankees. Greg Bird was more highly rated. He's out of baseball. Dante Bichette Jr. never made it. And then Aaron Judge was on that team.
Yeah, Bo Bichette is around.
Yeah, Dante's brother.
Yeah, but gosh darn, because I remember that's a unique name, Dante Bichette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had some accolades early, and right.
Yep.
He crashed and burned. Let me see some other quick stuff with Major League Baseball if we want to get to before we start cruising along. We got a couple 3 guests. Oh! This is what I was going to bring up. As if the Yankees aren't good enough. You see who's starting to swing it and get some hits in rehab?
I saw Stanton's on rehab.
Stanton, yeah, and he's getting hit. And,
he should. It's AA.
Yeah, and he should. And wasn't his year last year? Basically missed the whole year. Came back in the playoffs and hit it pretty well. Didn't he hit it pretty well a little bit?
Let me check.
I think he did. I think he was out all year and got hot. But just what the Yankees need, another big bat. What do you know while you're checking? I know I'm bombarding you here.
You're fine.
What do you know about, because last night he acted a little crazy in the game. Jazz Chisholm. Is he crazy?
He's different. He's a different dude.
Okay.
Stanton played 114 games last year.
Okay. Okay, so he played a lot.
But, yeah, Chisholm's different, man. He's got an interesting personality.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets enough respect for what they've asked him to do. A guy
Hell of an athlete. Very athletic.
Great athlite.
But, man, he was weird last night. He was there was a play at third base. He thought he got tagged wrong. He's fighting with Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
He's bleeding from one of I think his nail. He stole third base, and his nail got pinned back. He's bleeding on his uniform. He's mad, so the trainer comes and checks him out. Takes about 2 minutes. Play resumes. As he's being checked out, it's a hot night.
Sure.
So he's got his helmet off. He's wiping his brow and play resumes. He's leading off third now because he got in there with a bad throw, and he goes an entire pitch, never puts his helmet on.
Yeah, I mean, different, man.
Just kind of a weird dude, man.
Different. Listen, I'd take him on my team every day.
Yeah.
Because he's not a third baseman. The Yankees traded for him and said, we need you to play third.
It's funny you just said that.
And he did it and didn't complain, and that's the type of guy I want on my team.
It's funny you just said that. I was about to throw out. Last year is when I really got turned on to him. I guess he went to the Yankees last year, I think.
Yeah, he was traded from the Marlins.
So this guy, a unique name. Who's this guy? Watched him off and on last year, off and on this year. He strikes me as a guy. He's a good baseball player. He's a talented baseball player. He's a great athlete. He doesn't have a true position.
Correct.
Yeah, right?
I mean, he came up as a second baseman.
Yeah.
He played center field for the Marlins, and the Yankees randomly played him at third.
Yeah, and he played it.
He played. Yeah,
played it. He had a mess up last night. But you know those guys. Sometimes it's a curse. You can be such a good baseball player, but your talents don't fit any of the 8 positions. You know?
That, and I mean, Judge occasionally plays center field.
Yeah.
You're not taking that guy out.
Yeah, they had him DHing last night.
Yeah. So listen, I love Jazz Chisholm. He can play for me any day of the week. I think he's a good player.
He is a different bird, though, isn't he?
He's different.
He is.
You need those guys, though, in my opinion.
I agree. A lot of great baseball teams historically couldn't make it out of the locker room onto the field without somebody getting a black eye.
Listen, it's whatever it takes.
A lot of. All right, we took this a long way. Let's take a break here. Just getting going here on a Wednesday edition, the Young and Norvelle Show. Not sure if Patrick's going to check in. We've got 3 other guests scheduled. We hope to hear from Dr. Aaron Bates, as always, our Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Sports medicine discussion about 5 o'clock. We are scheduled to talk with Coach Jim Martin, Providence basketball coach, and also owner-operator of the Jacksonville Basketball Academy. All the camps going on right now. We'll tell you all about how you can get your young one in a basketball camp this summer. And then Brent Beaird is scheduled about 5:40. So we got a lot on the docket. Let's take a break, come back. We've got a lot of topics to introduce, including some more college baseball, World Series baseball news and notes on the other side.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
All right, there's a good look at a hot downtown Jacksonville. It's just that time of year, folks. It's a steamer outside, needing some rain to cool things off. We'll take this through, I guess, mid to late September, but that's what we do down here in Florida. Terry Norvelle here on a Wednesday, Hump Day edition. Got a lot of guests coming up, but we want to hit some topics here before we talk to Dr. Bates at the top of the hour. Jaguars day number 2, mandatory minicamp. Want to give credit to John Shipley. I'm kind of piggybacking off of his stuff. He obviously is one of the local reporters that's out there. Couple, 2 or 3 things, Casey, that his observations were that I stole from him, I should say. Brian Thomas, collision midway through practice today, according to John Shipley, with Tyson Campbell. Thomas stays down on the field for a while, gets back up. Supposedly a hush was over the crowd. That'll do it, Hush over the crowd, Casey. And then Thomas got up, and it sounds like pretty much on his own, but he did not return. It's about halfway through practice. They said, done. Done with that. Done with that. Supposedly the secondary had a decent day. Now, the inter-squad practices, what that means, right, Casey? Secondary had a good day, supposedly.
The offense did not.
Receivers didn't get open.
Yeah.
That's kind of how to look at that. Rookie Caleb Ransaw supposedly had a nice pass breakup on, guess who?
I'll go Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter!
Yeah.
Travis Hunter got beat. What? That's not allowed, is it?
Who was the quarterback would be my question.
I don't know if he reported that.
I know, I'm just saying.
Supposedly big Mason Smith running around looks pretty good. I don't know, 325-pound guys in shorts, I guess.
Yeah.
You have to say they look good because you're talking to them and they're going to beat you up if you don't. And
Certainly.
Jordan Lewis, he's the DB from the Cowboys, right?
He is.
Lewis, Lewis was the one with the pass defended against Travis Hunter. Ransaw supposedly had a nice practice, though, the rookie, but Jordan Lewis, the free agent, right, from Dallas, supposedly did something that nobody's done in the whole in the world.
That's good.
They defended a pass intended for Travis Hunter. So there you have it, a little bit of news and notes. One more day of mandatory, and then, Casey, they take several weeks off, right?
Yep.
They will take several weeks
until
off.
training camp.
Yeah, until training camp. Yeah, until training camp. So after tomorrow, that June-ish date here that we're running up on is kind of the if you're a coach, you try to get away a little bit. Players can It's not odd for coaches to go to Europe or something, do a nice big family vacation, because it'll be go time in a few weeks when they get back. College World Series gets started. Baseball World Series gets started on Friday. We've gone over the games. We can do that in a moment if we need to. Just some different news and notes from some of the teams that are out there. Again, 8 brand new teams in Omaha this year compared to the 8 last year. Nobody carried over. Very odd.
It's still a wild thing.
That is wild. That is really, really wild. Coastal Carolina, they, I guess, even though they've got a title, and some big schools don't have a title, Coastal Carolina was going to be the darling of the tournament until Murray State.
True.
I didn't know this till I read this, and I think we got Patrick on. I think I heard Pat jump in. College World Series note number 1. Coastal Carolina has not lost a college baseball game since April. April.
That's crazy.
We're in June. April, May, June.
That was a long time ago.
Goodness gracious. I did not realize this. UCLA is in the field. They've played great baseball over the years. UCLA has not been to the College World Series since 2013, the year they won it.
Dang.
I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, that's...
Man, I guess, man, I'm going to take that as a word. Oregon State, that's a good stat. Tells you that they've got a lot of fight in them. Obviously, Oregon State was the team that knocked out Florida State in the Super Regional. Oregon State had recently, in this postseason, they went 5 elimination games in 10 days.
Wow. That's impressive.
They won 5 elimination, win or go home, 5 times in a 10-day span and won them all.
That's impressive.
That's awesome. That's big time.
LS, is that you, Pat?
I'm here.
Hey, buddy, how about that? How about that pressure? 5 elimination games, their last 5 games, their last 5 elimination games spanned 10 days, and they won them all. Man, that's pressure.
It's pressure. It's and as every team knows, you got to bring your best stuff every game. So it's a focus. It's almost. I feel like it's almost better.
Maybe to keep you.
But it can keep you tight. It can keep you tight knowing that. But I guess after they've won, they got the confidence. After you win 2 of those games in a row, it all starts with belief. Team got to believe, especially in baseball. You got to believe that any of your guys, regardless of how they've played all year, that when it comes down to the last game, like this might be it, that they're going to come and show out. And some guys do step up to the moment and some don't. And it's something to be said to see a team to have 5 elimination games in 10 days and to win them all.
And won them all in a period.
So we got a darling. Who's your favorite? I know you said Arkansas.
I like Arkansas.
So give me your dark horse.
Gosh darn, dark horse. Let me think. How dark? I can't say LSU, can I? Because they're trying to win.
You can't say LSU, but if I can get a vote, I say Louisville or Arizona. Louisville or Arizona.
So
after what Arizona did to North Carolina, coming back and handle, I think they could be a dark horse that you're going to see in the final game. One of those 2 teams in the final game.
Yeah, I can't say LSU. They're 2. Here's what you got. You got 5 teams. Of the 8 teams in the field, 5 are national seeds. Arkansas was 3, LSU 6, Oregon State 8, Coastal 13, UCLA 15. The other 3 teams in the field were not national top 16s. Arizona, Louisville, and Murray State. You said Arizona, right? That's a great pick. As a sleeper, great pick. Great.
Yeah,
pick.
I couldn't believe I and talk about a team, Arizona, facing their first elimination game in the Super Regional after getting plastered 18-2, Terry.
I know, that's
incredible. You just got beat 18-2, and you still come back to win the next 2.
Yeah, and they were 1,500 miles away
I got a good one for you. Related to baseball. So we know, and Ben, I want you in on this one too. Which team is going to win the most Jello shots taken in Omaha?
Oh, that's a laydown.
Fan base?
Unless they get eliminated, and in case I'll let you jump in. Unless they get eliminated in 2 games.
Last year was Tennessee, obviously, at 38,000. 38,000.
The history of these Jello shots, LSU has put the numbers out into the stratosphere. Unless LSU gets eliminated in 2 games, they will walk to the title again for like the 80th time. Those Cajuns get out there and I think they had like 68,000 shots 2 years ago when they won it because they were there 10 days, 12 days.
Dude, that times 5.
How about that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
That bar. And you know people are ordering other stuff too, but just think, in those 2 weeks of this thing, one team alone has done, over the whole weekend, there's over 100,000 shots. So they're making, after taxes, $350,000, $400,000 on that.
My goodness. Yeah, LSU historically, in case you know what we're talking about, right? The Jello shot contest.
I don't have the
slightest.
Oh,
sorry, Casey, my bad.
Casey,
you don't know?
Out in Omaha, there's a bar that's like right outside the stadium. And obviously it is packed because it's a bar right outside the stadium.
Think of it as like, Casey, think of it as the bar that's right outside of 1-to-1 Financial.
Yeah.
That bar.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
like the location is like right there.
And Casey, they got going. Somebody was brilliant, I guess, years ago. They've been doing this probably 15 years. They keep a running tally board the day the tournament starts, and they tabulate each school every time somebody that orders a shot that says, "Hey, I'm a Tennessee fan." LSU has gone out there a bunch, and they win it a lot, so they play a lot of days. LSU has put the number out of reach. Those Cajuns get out there. I want to say one year I want to say their record is like 68,000 Jello shots. And it's a slaughter. Now, the only way they're not going to win it is if they get eliminated in 2 games. Patrick.
Honestly, yeah, you can look it up because the reason I brought it up because I was watching SportsCenter this morning and 2 of the anchors, they were making picks off of this year who they think, and they, without a doubt, LSU was at the top. But I think we're sleeping on Arkansas. I think we're sleeping on.
Yeah.
Did you see in their super regional the flags?
Oh, it's unbelievable. In the outfield.
Oh, oh my gosh, they have. I've never seen it like that. That's like the college game day. That crowd on steroids.
That was a great. It was the outfield stands, right? It looked like one of those rock and roll festivals over in Glastonbury or somewhere. Unbelievable. All right, here we go. The name of the bar is Rocco's. It's the home of the College World Series Jello Shot Challenge every year. LSU made the event and the establishment famous. Tiger fans purchased 68,888 purple and gold Jello shots during the 2023 College World Series, turning Rocco's into an 11-day LSU party. 68,000 shots.
It's 11. Oh, it's 11 days. It's not 2 weeks.
11 days, and they won it that year, so they were out there as long as you can be.
Paul Skeens, baby. You had to be out there for Paul Skeens.
And by the way,
how about Paul Skeens, man? He threw another gem.
Unbelievable.
And lost.
Hey, by the way.
Or it was a no decision.
No decision the other day. By the way, when LSU goes out there, and they have a running, dry erase board for every day, they tabulate, and then they have the running total on dry erase boards in that bar. LSU, their shots, they call them the Jello Shot Champions, and they spell Jello Jelleaux. Jello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jello Shot Champions. LSU fans, second place competitor. Oh, second place. They beat Wake Forest, the second place, 2 years ago, by over 60,000 Jello shots.
Wow. The better number. What's the number on the final day versus the celebration? Because the celebration, obviously, that for whatever team is going to be astronomically higher than anybody else.
To put it in perspective, this was an article from a year ago. LSU hadn't been back in 2 years when they set the 68,000 number. Last year, Tennessee won the national title in baseball. They were out there, obviously, the whole tournament. They went into the championship series, right? And you got to win 2 of 3. So Tennessee last year, and that's when this article was written, as Tennessee entered the championship series, they had 11,592 shots. They were nowhere near 68,000, and I think the championship series went 2 games, not 3. My God, those crazy Cajuns. And the Gators have to play football at LSU at night again this coming year. Oh, boy. Oh,
Nussmeier.
boy.
You know he wants his revenge. You know Nussmeier wants his revenge.
Oh, my goodness.
That was a great win. That was a great win by DJ Lagway and the Gators last year to upset LSU. Even LSU dominated that game.
Yeah.
They just couldn't score.
Yeah. Patrick, is tonight, I think whoever wins the NBA final game tonight, I think they win it. I think tonight may be the swing game with the underdog winning one already. I think tonight's the swing game.
You think so?
Yeah.
This game's huge just in regards of how badly Indiana got beat.
Yeah.
In the last game. I mean, that almost is embarrassing to be in the finals and to get beat like that. And for your star player, Tyrese Halliburton, to have the same amount of points as Alex Caruso in total of the tournament of the finals so far.
Ooh. Well, he's a weird player, and he makes the big shot in the fourth quarter, but a lot of games he only has like 10, 12 points.
He's total. Just not. Sometimes I don't know if he was just kind of waiting to be a little bit more aggressive later in the game.
Yeah.
But because there were moments later in the game where he was aggressive and looking for his shot first and was successful. But, you know, not maybe, for sure, the defensive intensity on Tyrese Halliburton obviously is from fire up Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, and Cason Wallace. They you know, you let this guy hit a game winner on you after they probably thought they did a really good job defensively on him for the whole game. But that shot nullifies any effort they did leading up to that point. It nullifies all of it. So they had to make a statement defensively. And that's the difference in OKC and Indiana. OKC is going to make you pay on offense, especially if you don't if you never take advantage of the mismatches and your opportunities on offense yourself. They're going to expose you because OKC doesn't really waste a lot of possessions. Every team turns the ball over, but they don't often waste possessions. Like, they usually get a really good shot almost every possession.
Yeah. These guys also, I remember reading before the finals started, these two teams, I think, are 2 of the top 3 in total possessions per game. These two teams like to get it and go, man. They like to get it and go.
And I wonder, the free throws definitely have account to affecting that because, you know, OKC gets to the free throw line really well, and they convert. But, I mean, Alex Caruso in game 2, you don't need him to score like that all the time, but defensively, I mean, he talk about he was playing first team all defense level. Against the Pacers.
And, you know, Pat, you follow the NBA much more than I do historically. I'm going to throw this out and see if you've got some team off the top of your head. I can't remember, or can you remember, a team that seems to really, an NBA team that seems to really enjoy playing defense like OKC? I mean, they really enjoy playing defense.
Yeah, there is one team that I'm trying to remember because there was a whole thing about their defense.
Is that right?
Maybe the Bulls. The Bulls are really good defensively. A few years ago.
Man, they dig in, man. They dig in, and they like to play defense.
Right, they do. I'm trying to think off the top of I mean, you know, you had Rudy Gobert at the top of his heyday with the Utah Jazz, you know, 4-time defensive player of the year. But a lot of times when the big guy is the best defensive player like that means a lot of his teammates can take off. They can take off a few plays. You know, the big guy is going to protect. He's going to protect the rim.
He got us. He got us. Pat, staying with basketball before the top of the hour, we hope to hear from Dr. Bates here in a moment. College basketball yesterday came out with several new adjustments, I guess you can call it, to replay and when you can ask for replay and
thank God.
What you can ask, blah, blah, blah.
Hopefully it's better. Please be better.
My concern is reading this article, several times it was referencing, well, this should help speed the college basketball game up because it can be a snail's pace at times and give it a better flow. My big concern is, and they've instituted about 5 or 6 new things around the refs and the coaches having to ask for things. The refs can't go to the – my biggest problem is every time they seem to announce something's going to speed the game up, it slows it down.
It slows it down. Yeah, it slows it down.
College basketball's got to address
college football. This the 2-minute timeout is not going to be for media, and it's not really going to be a timeout.
Timeout. Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was the most comical.
Thanks, Pinocchio. Hey, Pinocchio. Yeah, we believe you. Yeah, but I just want to make sure they've announced these things for this coming year. And a lot of times when they tinker and try to speed the game up, they end up just slowing it down, man. College basketball's got to get the pace of play up. It's just when Pat Adams is doing a game, you may as well forget it. That's 3.5 hours.
I wish. And it's funny, Terry, when I was on my way back from one of my recent trips, Doug Childs was on the plane. At first, I didn't recognize him. At first, I was like, and I wish I would have thought to ask him that. I said, Doug, what are we doing with these replays, man? These reviews,
it's brutal.
Oh man, the game it ruins games that have been great. For 35 minutes.
Yeah,
and then the last 5, you might as well just, I don't know, go kick some rocks, go walk your dog, and come back. And guess what? Only a minute will pass.
Yes, no doubt. Hey, how did you recognize? How did you finally recognize that was the official?
I saw his face, and because my brain immediately was like, I know this person. I know this person. I know this person.
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking, because he shook my hand. Hey, Pat, how's it going? And I'm like, God. After a while, I just kept thinking, and then it's like, oh, he's an official. He's been doing it for 30. He's been doing it for 20 something years.
Did you say Doug Schowles?
Yes.
Doug Schowles. Yeah.
White guy, dark hair. Good-looking guy. He's probably one of the best-looking officials out there. I think he's fair. I think he's good.
You should have called for a review. You should have asked for a review. Hold on, Doug. Can we take a look at this, Doug?
It was cool. He was actually he was coming to Jacksonville, going to the Sawgrass Marriott. The Big 12 was having an officials meeting.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask him, hey, dude, what do you do when the season's over? Obviously, you guys have meetings and stuff. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Because I don't think officials at that level, I don't think they need to work and do anything else. I think they just enjoy their time out of the season.
They might. They figure out ways to get in front of the camera. Some of those guys love the camera, I think. They love being on camera.
Would it be bad? Would it be bad to have some type of official media thing at the end of games? Would that be bad?
I don't think so. But that's always been taboo. They feel like they're putting their officials on a guillotine platform. And think about it. Basically, every night you do that with your officials, every question is going to be a derisive. It's not going to be, hey man, you had a great game. You were 34 of 35, great calls, right?
Right, exactly.
When you interview Patrick Young after a game, it's not always, hey Pat, why'd you foul that guy? A lot of times it's, Pat, you had 8 points and 12 rebounds, man. You had a good, everything they would ask would be negative, so they would just be getting thrown.
I know, that's true.
Thrown to
that's
the slaughter.
They just be getting thrown. Yeah, you're not.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be good TV.
You're not getting any praises.
Yeah,
they're getting. Players are a lot more likable.
Yeah.
And more outgoing, obviously, after a win.
Yeah.
Every time the refs will be going, it'd be like they're coming out there to defend a loss every time.
They're walking the plank to get to the press room, Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah. All right, Pat, let's take a break.
So we got Dr. Bates, and then we still got Coach Martin today?
Yeah, I thought you set that up, right, with Coach Martin? hopefully we're good to go.
We got Jimbo at after Coach Dr. Bates.
Yeah, we'll talk a little basketball after Dr. Bates at the top of the hour, then Brent Beaird about 5:40. Busy second hour. Stay with us right here on the Young and Norvelle Show.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jacks are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajacks.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajacks.org. Don't wait, apply today.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with we are martyr rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is down. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
All right, we kick off hour number 2 here on a Hump Day Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Patrick Young, I think, just hopped off. He may jump back on here momentarily. 5 o'clock Wednesday, that means time to talk some sports medicine with our buddy Dr. Aaron Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Doc, great for you to visit with us again here on a Wednesday. I want to jump right into it. Anthony Richardson, he has suffered, and it's now, I think I'm safe to say, reoccurring, AC joint issue in the shoulder. I know shoulder is one of your wheelhouse locations that you work on. Doc, this is happening. The pain obviously is so bad that he can't practice. This is reoccurring 3 or 4 times now. Doc, what are your thoughts with all your experience with an AC joint? What the hell is the AC joint? And is this a situation where it could possibly be he damaged it so bad it may never get better? Is he under rehabbing it? Is he over rehabbing it? This thing just keeps happening, this AC joint area. Talk about that, Doc.
So the AC joint is where the clavicle meets the acromion process of the scapula. We talked about it a bit before with other folks that had injuries the same fashion. But it's where you fall on the point of your shoulder. And the energy's got to be imparted somewhere, either at the AC joint or within the middle part of the clavicle, where you fracture the clavicle, or the part where the clavicle meets the sternum. So his was imparted at the AC joint. And I guess he originally had this injury his rookie season.
Yeah.
And actually had surgery for it. Apparently it was a grade 3 AC separation, which means that the collarbone is displaced superiorly about 100%, a little over 100%.
Oh.
And he had surgery to bring it back down and to hold it there. Well, he's playing football. I mean, it's a contact sport. It's a collision sport. And this is just throwing shoulder. So I'm not surprised that he's having pain or having some issues now with this going forward.
Sorry if I'm way off base here, but would he have been better off breaking the collarbone than having this AC joint thing?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah. Because the collarbone is not going to, and once the collarbone heals and it heals out to length and all that, even if he had surgery on it to get it to heal, well, it's not going to have any bearing on him throwing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And I'm sitting here doing a passing motion, man. If that's all tore up right there on the throwing shoulder, you're going to constantly irritate that thing unless you totally heal it, right? You're just going to constantly irritate that thing.
Yeah, and so in his case, he has to let ligaments heal it, or the reconstructed, if it was reconstructed with a graft or whatever, which is other tendon, get that to heal in and the scar in to make it like a normal AC joint, and it's difficult to do.
I mean, is this thing? Could this be career ending? I mean, if it just continues, or can he finally get a hold of this thing?
No, I think he can get a hold of this. This shouldn't end his career. I mean, the only way it would really end his career is it really affects his performance.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
So I guess it could be career ending. Yeah,
it could, but it depends on how long it's going to affect his performance, right? If it affects his performance for a year or two, and somebody's giving up on it, well, then is the next program or the next organization going to take a chance on it?
And
he's got the talent.
And they've brought Daniel Jones in behind him, and they swear, the Colts management swears, hey, man, we're going to may the best guy win. So he's not the bonus baby 2 years ago where they're going to give him the ball. Yeah, it's a shame. Hopefully he can get. I mean, if you make it or don't, if you don't make it in the league, you want to not make it with all your bullets in the gun. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. You hate that it's injury induced, and then you're what if?
He certainly has talent.
Yeah, sure. And he's young. You're right. He's young and healthy. Obviously, this is his one follow around injury. But yeah, he's a young dude, and he's a big, strong dude. So he's got a chance, I think, to get his hands around it. WNBA star Caitlin Clark has been out May 24th, I think, a good 3 weeks with a quad issue, the big muscle, right? The quad.
Yeah.
Couple thoughts. Number one, I guess you don't really. She's been seen, on the bench in street clothes. She's not really working out, and she's at the games, and she's been seen. So she hasn't immobilized it. Is the quad an injury that you don't really, other than crutches or a wheelchair? I guess you can't really immobilize it. So walking around doesn't hurt the injury?
No, it's similar to having a hamstring injury. So hamstring injuries are a little more common. And so you don't hear the quad as much, but another one of the two biggest muscle groups in your body. It's your hamstrings and your quads.
Yeah.
And so she just had a bad quad strain. I don't know what grade, but the higher the grade, the longer time it takes to recover.
Is when you say a quad strain, doctor, is that from a just explosive thrust, or could that be twisting the wrong way, or is it more of a thrust type of strain?
Typically, it's a thrust. It's a takeoff.
Yeah.
It's change of direction. It's not really twisting like you get a knee injury or something like that. But it's an immediate acceleration.
Explosion.
Or
Explosion.
Change of speed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and explosion. And it looks like she's back. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. You never hear the quad muscle injuries. You never see any immobilization. They just kinda,
sometimes you can get them wrapped.
Yeah.
You kind of bring the muscle in and kind of keep it contained a little bit. That may help them feel a little bit better. But no, there really is no mobilization. You actually want to get it moving. You want to keep
I got you. I got you. Speaking of wrapped in a weird way, the city has been a little bit of buzz the last couple of days. Trevor Lawrence has had a sleeve on his arm. What does that mean? Does it mean anything, Doc? I mean, people have gotten in a tizzy over Trevor Lawrence. He's never worn a sleeve. He's got a sleeve. Is there something bad going on? What the hell does the sleeve do? I mean, what's this all about?
I don't know if the sleeve really does anything. It may make him feel a little bit better if he has some muscle soreness. I mean, he's been throwing a lot of balls.
Yeah.
And maybe he's got some soreness down his arm. But I don't make much of it.
No.
He hasn't missed any practices or anything like that. He's still slinging it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was a summer story, kind of,
Keep people interested.
Got a lot of hours to fill. We've all got shows. I think it was a bit of a summer story. Doc, there was a recent Tommy John situation. It's obviously it's a very prevalent injury in baseball with pitchers. Before we talk about some of the terms that you've used, and I read a lot about it yesterday and this morning, and you perform that procedure all the time, the Tommy John UCL. I think we've danced around this, and I don't think that you are going to give me a hardcore scientific answer to this, but I'm always amazed. There are times where pitchers will go through the Tommy John and they'll come back and damned if they won't have increased velocity. I know it doesn't happen all the time. Is that just a happenstance? I mean, I've heard of guys post Tommy John when they're finally back, man, he's got 2 or 3 more miles an hour on his fastball.
That may have something to do with all the concentration on the rehab. And then you just get that much stronger because you're concentrating on that one thing to try to make this elbow as good as it can be. Because the ligament is just the ligament. It doesn't impart any muscle action or anything like that. It helps stabilize the elbow during the throwing motion.
Interesting. But you've heard that before, haven't you? It's rare, but I've heard. I'm like, how the hell do they come back with more velocity than they pre-surgery?
Right.
Yeah, interesting. I guess it was the Braves pitcher they lost 2 days ago to Tommy John, another starter. You've talked about it a lot, and Doc, I started reading a little more about it, and I saw a lot of the terms you've used here on our show. Sounds like it comes down to the UCL. You're either going to repair the existing or replace, right? And I got really with the replace, I was like, well, if it gets replaced, why does it still take a long time, right? And I want you to speak to this, but I started reading it, and it made it sound like the human body has to kind of reprogram itself and integrate and strengthen if it's a graft. And then obviously when you bore the holes in the muscle, sometimes you talk about that, right? How you drill holes in the bone. You drill holes in the bone to anchor. Obviously that bone has to fill in and, right? But I didn't realize the body has to almost reprogram itself and accept that new or change. Is that right? Am I close on that?
Yeah, that's correct. And so as far as UCL tears, you can have a tear where, because the ligament attaches from the end of the humerus bone, something called the medial epicondyle, onto the ulna bone, something called the sublime tubercle of the ulna. And so if you have tears directly off either the humerus or the ulna, well, there's something that we can do called a primary repair, just taking your native ligament and repairing it back to where it was torn off, and use something called an internal brace to help protect it under the skin. And the brace is pretty much just a heavy suture, that kind of protects the ligament. It takes the stress off the ligament as it's healing in. And so we know that recovery time kind of cuts the traditional Tommy John, which is a reconstruction, in half, instead of from a year down to about 6 months.
Right. I saw that.
Now, the other, though, if the tendon, or excuse me, if the ligament is just not looking very healthy, the rest of the ligament, or it's torn right, we call intrasubstance, or in the middle of the ligament, we can't obviously do that direct repair with internal brace. So we have to reconstruct the ligament. You said replace, which is a, kind of a good analogy.
Yeah.
But we call it reconstruction because we're taking other tissue from elsewhere, which you said a graft, either from your own body or from a cadaver.
Yeah.
And no matter where we take it from, it goes in as dead tissue.
Now,
it's typically a tendon-type tissue.
That's what I was going to ask. As I was reading this morning, it made it sound like you might go get tendon, put it where you want the ligament, and the body will almost turn the tendon into a ligament in a weird way. Is that what? Yeah, that was what I was reading this morning.
And so it's done the same thing for ACL reconstructions, PCL reconstructions, AC joint ligament reconstructions.
Right.
But yeah, so the UCL, we have to reconstruct it. We're reconstructing it with a tendon that over time will become a ligament.
That's wild, man. That is wild.
Yeah.
That is wild. Patrick chimed in here about this. He sent me a text. Pat had to fall off here a moment ago. He said, ask Dr. Bates about the difference in the healing if you use a cadaver versus, I guess a part of the
your own tissue.
Your own tissue. And he asked what I was about to ask: is there, if you go the cadaver route, is there a chance the body rejects that? And I know it's not a big piece, but I mean,
yeah, there's studies out there to show that you can reject cadaver tissue. Have I seen it? Maybe a couple times in my practice, but very, very, very rare. Very rare. Could you get an infection from it? Very, very, very rare. But yeah, that's something that we talk about.
Now,
as far as the healing between your own tissue versus cadaver tissue, they both heal the same way. Now, your own tissue heals in initially a little quicker, but over time, they both heal in the same way. And there is something called this ligamentization process.
Yeah, I got that word down too. I saw that today. That big long word.
That's right. And all that means is that tendon that we put in the body begins to accept the properties and change its substance to look more like, histologically like a ligament, and act more like a ligament and not a tendon.
So
that process takes years, though.
Yeah. So I did read that right. I mean, I'm reading that going, wait a minute. And I reread it this morning. I go, this is saying that the tendon piece of tissue, if that's the right word, is going to kind of morph into a ligament acting at something crazy. That's crazy to me.
The other thing you got to know is, so we choose these grafts based on their strength and the amount of collagen they have and all of that. And so when we put in the tendon that's going to act like a ligament, that tendon strength, when we initially put it in, it's going to be as strong as it ever will be. but it's probably 2, 3, 4 times stronger than the native ligament when we first put it in.
Really? Wow. So when you go in for Tommy John, UCL, obviously you've seen the patient a bunch, but you haven't, until you do the procedure, you haven't been in there yet, have you?
No.
So do you go in on the actual procedure day? Do you go in not knowing if you're going to do a repair or a replace?
No, we know that just because from the MRI.
Okay. So you do know going in, if it's a cadaver that you're going to use, the structure, the tissue, whatever, I don't know if the word, if it's
allograft. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it's going to be cadaver, is that something that you guys have on site, or is that, I don't want to say the word order, but do you order I need a piece?
Yeah, it's ordered and it's on site.
And do you give centimeters?
Right, we want a certain length because we know there's certain things we have to weave around and whatever. We have to make it a certain length to fit that area. These UCLs aren't done as many times with a cadaver as say like an AC joint or ACL or something like that. So UCL typically are done with an autograft, and it's typically the palmaris longus tendon of the forearm. So you work on the same arm, you take the graft on the same side. That's really not a tendon that's used as much.
If you're taking it from somewhere, that part of the body is missing something. Are they going to have, and you said from the forearm a lot of times, are they going to have grip issues with that hand, or are they going to lose something at all, is what I'm asking?
Yeah, no, this particular tendon is really not used in strength, and some people don't even have this tendon, right? They're born without it, and it's not uncommon to be born without it. So we have to check and make sure it's there.
Man, it's been so much fun having you the last several years. What about a man-made foreign, man-made? I guess that wouldn't have blood flow, and we always need blood flow, right? I mean, have people tried? Have scientists and doctors tried to create a man-made piece of ligament tendon, or?
Sometimes, but it just really hasn't worked.
No, it just doesn't work. Is it?
There's some things out there though, particularly for ACLs.
Is it a multitude of issues, or is the blood flow the big issue, or just a multitude?
Yes, biology.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow, Doc.
The other thing I was going to say is, I started by saying that the graft that we put in there, the tendon graft, is as strong as it's going to be when we first put it in.
Okay.
But over the first 6 to 10 weeks, your body starts to kind of eat away at it while it's trying to lay down new tissue. And so the graft weakens, and it's probably the weakest at about 10 weeks out. And then it strengthens back up, never getting as strong as it was when we first put it in.
Okay.
But stronger than your native ligament.
How do you test that when they start coming back after the procedure and weeks? How do you test it? Is it a strain, or how do you test if it's healing and getting strong as it needs to week after week?
It's a clinical test with your exam in the office typically.
And is that you doing that, or is that a rehab person? Okay. Interesting. Man, Doc, I'm so happy you said the word ligamentization. I was worried about that word all day today.
You don't do that well.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It's a tongue twister. Okay, I think that's about everything for today. That's good stuff, man. That is good stuff. How many Tommy Johns do you think you've performed in your career?
Not many. They don't come around. I mean, I'm not the
they don't?
guy around here that does Tommy Johns. I've probably done maybe 20 in my career.
Because it's a specific, it's a real
very
specific.
specific, and it's not done. It's not like an ACL, which everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people get ACLs. Way more than Tommy John ligament tears.
And didn't you tell us, Patrick and I, one time a long time ago, you do more shoulders? I think is that more?
Do more shoulders than knees. Yeah.
More shoulders than knees. Yeah. What's the are the time frames for the procedure about the same, shoulder, knee, or way different? In terms of you doing the procedure, hands-on.
The amount of time in the OR.
Yes, when you start.
It just depends on what procedure for what I'm doing and which joint, right? So it's all different.
Yeah.
You know, the rotator cuff repair, it depends on how large and involved the tear is. The total shoulder replacement, that takes about an hour and a half.
Oh, really?
Sometimes 2 hours. Yeah.
Huh. Last question, Doc. Last thought. Have you ever had to answer questions from anybody with worse questions than me? Or am I the worst?
Great questions.
Inquisitive, right? Inquisitive. Did you always know you wanted to be a orthopedic surgeon from a young age?
No, I don't know what I want to do. You went to college, just wanted to play ball, and I thought maybe I was going to go in engineering, something like that, because Towson didn't have an engineering school, so I got injured, and that's when I got involved with medicine.
How about that? All right, buddy. I know you're probably ready for dinner. Good stuff as always. Boy, we learn every time.
Hold on a second. I think Patrick has a question.
Oh, did he? Pat, you got one? Oh, did he send you a text? He may have.
He can't hear you. You can't hear him.
Okay, if you can relay it, go ahead, Doc. Let's see here. I don't see
it. Go ahead, Patrick.
No, I don't hear him.
Or a 6, right?
Oh, there you go. Patrick, ask it again. Go ahead. You're on.
Yeah, Terry, I was talking. Cool.
Sorry.
So what type of issues would he still be dealing with now that's keeping him from throwing? Because I know we talked earlier, I think the first year, about AC joint injuries and that it really shouldn't, once that's healed up, affect your throwing. But the Colts don't have him throwing at all, and it's because of the shoulder.
Yeah. I don't really know, because I'm not privy to that information.
Sure.
Is this something else that's also gone wrong in his shoulder, or is this still just his AC joint? I don't know.
Is there a compensatory thing? Because I know it can happen with your leg. You start putting more weight on another leg. Is there like a compensation thing?
Not necessarily. Most people don't have this issue, but it is his throwing shoulder. So you never know. I mean, could he have taken a hit, which he probably didn't in practice, going to protect him, but he did come back at the end of the season last year, and they talked about him irritating his shoulder. They talked about, was he going to need surgery or not, and then he just rehabbed him. So I'm thinking this stemmed from then, and he's still dealing with it. So he may have had a re-injury of that AC joint by taking a hit last year during the season. And this may be an AC issue continued from that. And so it sounds like, I don't know why they wouldn't have done surgery again.
Yeah. And we'll let you go, Doc, with this. Thank goodness Trevor Lawrence, he's got a shoulder issue, but it's his non-throwing.
Yeah.
It still affects the whole body mechanics of throwing a football. I get it, but thank goodness it's his non-throwing. All right, Doc, we'll let you go have some dinner. Good stuff as always. We appreciate your time, my friend.
Pleasure. You guys have a good one.
That is our good buddy. We do it every Wednesday, sports medicine discussion. Dr. Aaron Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, the best in the business. If you've got orthopedic needs, do not wait. Do not put it off. Get in. As a matter of fact, they've got several no appointment necessary walk-in immediately clinics. Go to their website, find out where they're at. Get the best treatment if you've got orthopedic issues by going to their website, se-ortho.com, se-ortho.com. All right, let's take a break. We hope to have We hope to have Coach Jim Martin from Providence talking about the Jacksonville Basketball Academy camps. They are going all over town. Many weeks left. If you want to get your basketball player in a camp, you can't go wrong. We'll talk about it on the other side here on the Young and Norvelle Show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
There's a good look over the overhead shot of downtown. Cloudy. We could have this shot every day for the next 3 months. It's pretty standard. Hot and a threat of rain here in June. Welcome back, Terry Norvelle here on the Young and Norvelle Show. Time to talk some basketball. We've been telling you all about the wonderful camps that are going on
look at that guy.
all summer. Yeah, look at that guy. As Patrick Young welcomes Coach Jim Martin. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
I have a shirt on right now, so I don't want to embarrass you old guys. So we'll stick with the still picture today.
You hear him, Coach? He's just he's pushing us.
It goes in one ear and out the other real fast.
Hey, Coach, your camps got going, Jacksonville Basketball Academy. We've had a lot of fun talking about what you guys do, your staff. 9 weeks of camps all summer long. They got started on the 27th of May. I guess, what are we in, two and a half weeks or so into this thing? They run all the way through early August, basically 1 week camps. Talk about what the basketball player, regardless of age, grade, level of skill, what can be accomplished this summer at some of your camps?
Player development.
Yeah.
They will get almost a money back guarantee when that ball.
and you spend a week with us, you're going to walk a better player. And if you can do it a few weeks, then it's just a multiplying effect. And, so many of these kids are at these big schools, middle schools, have 100 kids trying out. Mandarin High School has 100 kids trying out for their JV team. Landrum in Ponte Vedra, 120 kids trying out 13 spots. So you got to be ahead of the curve. You got to do a lot of things just to be on somebody's team.
Wow.
You make a team the next year, figure out how to start on a team, and then the next year figure out how to win a championship. It comes with player development, and it's not always playing games. It's getting better as a player.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. And, Coach, I would imagine if there's a young basketball player and his or her goal is to make their middle school team or make their high school team, you don't want to start working on that the week before tryouts, right? I mean, that's not the time to work on your game to make that team. The week school starts, and when you see a flyer that says basketball tryouts, it's probably a little bit late then, isn't it?
It's too late. It's too late. It should be a steady diet of that ball in your hand, and you're working on the skill development. You're handling the ball, you're shooting the ball. And it really, nowadays, if you're going to be a middle school JV varsity type player in this city, you better be working on those skills almost year round. It's too competitive out there. It's really too competitive, because if you're not doing it, somebody else is doing it.
How do you handle a new player, maybe somebody you and your staff haven't seen, they've never been to your
I'm
camp?
glad you just said that, Terry. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Terry.
No, go ahead, Pat.
You just had, Ed Lombard, our mutual friend, keeps me in the loop. Two really good players here in Jacksonville have just committed to playing for you and being students at Providence next year.
Nice.
What does that mean for this upcoming team, and what is your approach? What's your approach to coach these guys?
Both players are going through the process.
Okay.
They're going through the admissions process. They play on one of our academy teams, but technically they're not in. So I don't want to get, the cart in front of the horse on this situation.
Got you.
Okay. But return everybody from last year's team. We're going to be good just with the returning players that we have.
When you have if this process just entertainment here, Coach, what would be your approach for bringing in guys that do go through the process and you're going to be coaching them that are new to the program?
Well, the thing with the new guys coming in, they literally, I just turn them over to admissions. They've got to get through. I don't have much contact with them.
I mean, when you start to coach them, when you actually get to get them on the court.
When they get in, whoever might get in, the first thing is we're all about the team, which you remember. Yeah. We are going to play team basketball. We're going to put some of the personal agenda aside, and we're going to figure out how to play games. And we're not going to worry about touches, shots. We're not going to worry about those things. And I'm going to give up coaching when we can't stress the team element of the game.
Yeah. Coach, let's get back to the camps. You still got several weeks left. Tell people, number one, where they're at. We know Google it online, Jacksonville Basketball Academy. All the sign-up information, all the contact information is there. But kind of walk through, for somebody out there listening right now, they've got a basketball player, and they've never been through your academy. Where are they held at? How do they get involved? And pick it up from there.
So I would say you go to our website, JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com, and whether you're looking to get on a team, whether you're looking for a high school player, we have a great camp coming up at the Legacy Arena over off Phillips Highway. That Jerry Buckley for Kenny. Patrick went to it when he was a junior or senior. It's a great camp, just high school kids throughout the whole city. That one I would recommend to anyone. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th grade.
It's a really good litmus test to see how good you actually are.
Nice.
Put you against the best players. That's on our website for high school camps. For all the players in that 3rd through 9th, I would look at our normal traditional camps in the morning, 9 to 12. If you really want to hone in on your shot, I would recommend our premier shooting camp in the afternoon, 1 to 4. That's where we're really going to fine-tune your shot, get you shooting the ball extremely well. If you shoot the ball extremely well, they'll find a place to put you on the court.
Funny how that works.
Well. Now I understand why I was such a bad shooter, Coach. We didn't have premier shooting coaching. I mean, you always told me just to stay under the paint and dominate, but I wanted to shoot. I wanted to step out sometimes too, Coach. Come on, man.
I was a defensive coach. That was Tyler or somebody. No, that was Stroud. He dropped the ball on that one.
Nice.
Hey, let's throw him under the bus.
Yeah,
he's out there listening.
Always. Chip Stroud always goes under the bus. Good buddy of ours, coaching over there at Episcopal.
Hey, Coach, walk me through this, and we'll have a couple more minutes with you. I know you need to get about your business. Guy, a boy or a young lady, a boy or girl comes through one of your camps this summer, one or more of your camps, right, working on their basketball. When they leave your camp, when summer starts winding down, even if it's just verbal, do you guys give those players a roadmap to keep working on? Hey,
yes.
So how does that work? Do they get out of there with some structure on their own to keep working on their game?
Yes, in some situations, we'll actually write it down for them. In other situations, we're coaching them up that entire week. That entire week, we're coaching them up on what they need to do to stay ahead of the curve. Okay. And sometimes we're coaching them up to stay away from the things that's going to make you an automatic cut. One of the things that's going to make you an automatic cut is your body language. And we can't stress enough.
Oh, yeah.
We stress things like good shot, bad shot. We stress walling up instead of trying to block every shot as a 5'2" guard. So it's a lot of things in front of, right? There's only one shot blocker in this little group right now, Terry, and that's the big guy.
Yes, that's a big guy right there. Coach, again, for all the information, how to get involved, the camps run all the way through early August, I think August 4th. Go to Jacksonville Basketball Academy.com. JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. Everything's there for contact. Coach, last thought for you, basketball thought. There's a lot. Okay, and then we'll get him out of here. Coach, there's a lot of talk around the men's basketball game of switching to quarters as opposed to two halves. Men's NCAA basketball is about the last bastion that plays halves, not quarters. What are your thoughts on that? What would you prefer the college game men's game go to quarters and get away from halves?
Quarters. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go quarters. That's more opportunities to coach them up. Let's go.
Absolutely. There you go. Pat, you got one thing real quick?
Yeah. Coach, with obviously in the women's side of basketball, Caitlin Clark has had a tremendous effect on girls coming to play. Have you seen in your camps or noticed maybe a higher percentage of young girls coming to camps? I'm just curious.
Good question.
They'll come to our camps and they'll wear the Caitlin Clark shirt. So yeah, I can see it.
Nice.
Hey, they're not wearing. They're wearing her shirt. Yeah.
And are they trying to shoot from the logo?
Yeah.
No. Hey, Patrick, got to shoot from the logo now.
There you go. All right, Coach, we'll let you get going. We've had a lot of fun, and we'll continue all summer long directing people to the wonderful camps that you have. Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Thanks, Coach, as always. Have a good rest of your day.
Hello.
That's our buddy, Coach Martin, Providence basketball coach Jim Martin, and discussing his summer camps that he's been running for a long time, Jacksonville Basketball Academy. I'm going to check in with Casey. Casey, do we have Brent Beaird? I know he's going to join us. I think we do have Brent. We'll just go right to Mr. Beaird if we can.
Hey, I wish I had a shirt nearby.
I know.
You old guys,
So what are you doing now? Why are you say that again about the old guys?
I'm sitting down on my I was really hot outside.
Yeah.
And so I had to take my shirt off, and now I'm all settled in, but I don't have a shirt, and I don't have one to reach, and I don't want to embarrass you guys.
Yeah. Don't do that as we welcome Brent Beaird. Brent, got a few minutes here. Thanks for joining us here, Brent. If you've got a couple notes, we'd love to have them. I had one note, and I don't know if Patrick heard this, about the College Baseball World Series. I read this morning the 8 teams that are in Omaha, heading out to Omaha for the start Friday. 8 brand new teams. Nobody from last year made it.
That's Terry. That's almost. I won't say it's impossible.
Yeah.
When's the last time that's happened?
I didn't see when, but man, how about that, guys?
That's truly an amazing stat. My only disappointment about the College World Series why in the world do you have Arkansas and LSU playing on the first day?
Yeah, I need to look that up because that's the two highest seeds still alive in the tournament, and they're going to put a loss on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
You know what the issue is why there's no repeat teams? Tennessee and Arkansas getting in the same super regional. If Tennessee is in another one, they're going to make it.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah, actually, that is a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Brent, we got about 7 or 8 minutes. A couple of news and notes that may stand out. Anything we need to get to?
Well, there was more TV out today.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah, a lot of either or time frames. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you were shocked that Georgia Alabama is a primetime game.
Yeah, how about that? That's good news, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I guess speaking of time, guys, we both talked about this. It looks like as much as Ohio State's, and moaning, moaning, Fox is holding strong, and Texas. That Ohio State-Texas game is going to be at high noon, no matter how much Ohio State's not happy about it.
Yeah, and did y'all see where game day is going to be there too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Look, there was question about game day being in Tallahassee. Now, Terry and Pat, you mean
game days act? Oh, and the game starts right away. I love that.
Oh,
I do too.
Oh, yeah, but see, Brett McMurphy. Remember this, Terry? Brett McMurphy maybe 2 weeks ago came out and said that the final game for Lee was going to be at Alabama and Florida State.
And they changed that though, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did.
Now, Patrick, Lee Corso, his final game will be the first weekend of college football, and it will be at Ohio State. And I think they did that because that was the first location he ever put a headgear on.
Gotcha. Yeah, right.
I think that was his first. I think that was his first headgear location. Not the first game day on location, but his first head day, and it'll be coming full circle.
I wish he was able to do the Army-Navy game one more time.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
That would probably
would be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? But what Patrick just said got me thinking. When Corso does that final game, and game day will go off at noon. That big game gets started immediately, so there's not going to be a whole lot of, reminiscing with him. He's going to put that headgear on, and I guess that's it.
That's going to be it, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to say maybe the last 30 minutes is going to be dedicated to him.
They might.
You would think that there will be all kinds of, and it may not be, but
everybody cries over.
Yeah,
including us. We're crying.
Yes.
Yes. And you would think that they are probably putting it together right now, a 5 to 10 minute montage of his best headgears and not so fast, and he was a quirky, weird dude, but it worked. His personality worked, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that.
I always tell this story too, and most people know it, but a lot of people won't. You think about from college football television guy, Lee Corso is the signature.
Yeah.
College basketball television guy is Dick Vitale. If you think about it, those two guys turned into television broadcasting legends. And the only way they got where they're at is neither one of them were quite a good enough coach.
True.
Dick Vitale got fired. Dick Vitale actually coached the NBA one year, and he coached Detroit Mercy in basketball. They were just bad enough, and he was just bad enough to get fired, or he would have kept coaching. Wow. Lee Corso finally got fired at Indiana. He was a longtime coach. He coached on a Florida State staff. But Brent, if Lee Corso was 3 games a year better, he would have never gotten broadcasting. They were both just bad enough to look for a second career.
He had the personality to be able to, John Madden was that way. Madden had enough of a personality after you quit coaching. I mean, man, the great thing about and the great thing about these guys is that what's made them connect with the audience is they're just regular guys.
Yeah.
Now you can't say that about like Urban Meyer or someone like that.
Yeah.
But for Lee and
Matt Leinart, he encompasses. If you want to think of somebody modern, you see him in commercials and stuff. You're like, man, he's just got a great, likable personality. You're right, Urban Meyer.
Yeah. You know, Pat also talked about we'll all break down and cry. You know who better have a crying towel with him is Herbie. Herbie.
Mercy, yes.
Herbie, he'll be a fountain of tears, won't he?
Oh yeah.
I tell you, man, I tip my hat to him. He treated Corso the last 5 years like his beloved grandfather, which he turned into be. Herbie really had to work hard the last 5 or 6 years on that set.
He did. Yeah. Oh yeah.
To help Corso.
Oh yeah, and it's still going to be fascinating to see what they do. By the way, and I get one of these about a week. I got another. It was either email or text about what a fabulous job that Patrick Young did. Someone heard you speaking, Pat, and they sent that to me, and I need to find it and send it to you.
Did they say where?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I just did TV, and my mind's so jumbled, I can't remember anything right now. But
that's nice though.
Yeah, you remember those? You remember those days, Terry?
Yeah, that's nice though. To get an attaboy on their work is a nice thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So all I can say is, and I know you will, is keep up the
absolutely, man.
The good work that certainly makes it worthwhile. And by the way, having to do a lot of settlement issues today with House versus Nation. You guys probably also see they've already had like three law. I know they had a Title IX lawsuit filed today.
Yeah.
And look,
lawsuit.
Yes. Yeah. We don't have time to go into this right now, but we've all three talked about this. That's going to be a real challenge, guys, for House versus Nation settlement is that Title IX stuff, because by law it's supposed to be break even, right?
Yeah, that
is not the case.
It's a sticky wicket. It really is.
They're the hold up because with the revenue sharing, like an appeal on that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
already got talked about.
I think lawsuits are going to pop up, but you know, man. I mean, you're going to hear.
It's going to be fun.
You're going to hear women's sports should get as exact amount as men's sports, and that's Title IX. But you just can't do that. Common sense tells you can't.
You know, the sad thing about that is if it got to the point where it's decided you have to do it based off of revenue that is made.
Yeah.
A lot of the women's sports would owe the school money.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. True.
And a lot of the men's sports.
And some of the men's sports would technically owe the school money.
Oh yeah.
Okay, guys, we got 2 minutes left. I want to throw this out. Did you guys do what I did last night? I watched almost the entire first national broadcast of the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. It was a great presentation. You could tell the Major League Baseball people put money into it. It was presented well. It was a great start for that league last night, the televised portion.
You remember who was on shortstop for the
Skylar Wallace.
Great. She's my favorite all time, man.
We went through several players that I've recognized. Montana Fouts, the great Alabama pitcher, was in the game. I'm real bullish on this thing. Maybe too much. People are probably tired of hearing me talk about it, guys. But it was a great presentation, night one of their national broadcast.
I tell you one thing. I bet they had more people there than the USF or USL. In the championship game, or at least one of the. Maybe it was a divisional title game.
Yeah, so they played. They played over the weekend. The softball did at a couple venues. They had a bunch of games in that Illinois venue and then one other. Every game, I think they had like 6 or 8 games that culminated last night. Everyone sold out. Now you're talking 2,000-ish seat stadiums, but all all of them sold out. Yeah, they're playing at some, there's not big softball stadiums anywhere, really, other than Oklahoma City right now. But all of them sold out. But it was a good. It looked. There was nothing hokey about it. It looked like a big time broadcast. They had professional broadcast. They didn't do anything silly like some of these leagues. Fight for the football for the kickoff, and they don't have any stupid scoring rules. It's straight softball, and the girls are good at playing softball. They're good at it.
What you think league is probably not big enough for them to try to work something out with the stadium in Oklahoma City?
Well, yeah, but they can't all play there, and they're scattered about the country.
Oh, I thought they were mostly playing their games in Tuscaloosa right now.
No, that's the championship series.
Gotcha.
It's 24 games over 3 months, 4 teams, and about 11 or 12. They're going to travel. A lot of it, they're traveling around the country in softball-centric areas. All right, guys, got to get out of here. It was a quick one, Brent. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, we'll talk in the morning. How about that?
We will talk in the morning. We'll talk about that. Patrick, thank you for jumping on a bunch, as I know you're out and about. We'll do it again tomorrow, 4 o'clock, for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Coming to you live tomorrow from Sliders Oyster Bar.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jack's PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax Pal.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.